just a few hours ago, this new cover of The New Yorker came out. It's a tiny hand in a big suit holding a TV remote.
We will not be silenced, we will not be intimidated, and we will not stop fighting until we defeat fascism in this country. Woo! ABC, grow a spine! ABC, grow a spine!
Well, that's certainly one way to send a message to the president. When Jimmy Kimmel Live was pulled off the air after a monologue criticizing the mega movement, response to the Charlie Kirk killing, it sparked more than just headline. It ignited protest, outrage, and a growing chorus of voices rightly asking, you do see where this is headed, right? Because history shows up the ending is usually all too familiar.
I feel bad about this because we all see where this is going, correct? It's managed media, and it's no good. It's silly. It's ridiculous, and you can't go around firing somebody because you're fearful or trying to suck up to an authoritarian criminal administration in the Oval Office. That's just not how this works.
And the message was clear. America does not agree with the using power to silence dissent. After ABC indefinitely suspended Jimmy Kimmel Live under pressure from FCC Chair Brendan Carey, Disney, ABC owner faces intense backlash. Critics accuse them of yielding to political pressure, prompting calls for boycotts and sparking protests as Americans took to the street to raise their voices against this growing issue. Trump publicly praised the suspension, calling it great news for America, and suggested that broadcasters who air negative coverage about him should lose their licenses. Comments he made while speaking on Air Force One.
And he also said at one point, Phil, that he basically believes broadcasters and that regulators should consider taking broadcasters' licenses away if they have late night hosts on their programs who criticize him. Listen to what he told reporters just a few moments ago.
When you have a network and you have evening shows and all they do is hit Trump, that's all they do. If you go back, I guess they haven't had a conservative on in years or something, somebody said. But when you go back and take a look, all they do is hit Trump. They're licensed. They're not allowed to do that.
In Los Angeles, hundreds gathered outside Disney's headquarters in Burbank, joined by members of the Writers Guild of America. And similar demonstrations popped up outside ABC's New York studio and the Hollywood studio that hosts Kimmel's show.
And I have said throughout all this, these protests are not just about Kimmel. They are about who gets to speak and who gets less silence. When audience, artists, unions and media workers push back, it shows a deep concern over free speech, political interference, and whether an administration can publicly pressure media companies without facing any accountability. Many Americans see these actions are more than just entertainment policy. They recognize the political motivation behind them. And here's the kicker. You had think the self-proclaimed champions of free speech on the right would be uncomfortable with regulatory or political pressure used to stifle criticism, but not so much.
There's something I want to say to any of the business leaders who are being dragged across one red line after the other, who are going along with it because they think it's going to help them or because they think it will get the Trump administration off their back. You need to understand that this is a one-way trip, that sooner or later, if you play this game, you will have even less room for maneuver in the future. They didn't stop at the law firms. They didn't stop at the universities. They didn't even stop with the comedians. They are not going to stop until they have total power. And if you try to ride this tiger as a business or organizational leader, sooner or later, it will eat you.
These demonstrations come at the time when Trump cannot escape poor poll numbers, even according to Fox News. According to a recent Fox News national survey, Trump overall job approval stands at 46, but just 39 approve of his handling of the economy. More than half of voters believe the economy has once under his watch. Something he responded to by blaming the blisters, as you might expect.
When do you think
Including
that
jobs.
people are going to feel that? Because we do see polling that doesn't poll well in the economy. The recent Fox polling said 52% say the economy is worse under this administration. We've got unemployment at the highest rate in 4 years. Groceries made a big jump in the last term. So how is that? You're looking forward with these plans that you just talked about. When will people feel that, Mr.
Well,
Trump?
when the factories
President Trump?
start opening. I mean, right now we're building them. And, you know, Fox polling, I have to tell you, I've told you before, it's the worst polling I've ever had. It's always, I mean, during the election, they had me winning by a little bit, not by a massive amount. And Fox polling, I've told Rupert Murdoch, go get yourself a new pollster because he stinks. And this is for years now.
But the truth is, countless other polls only confirm this downward trend. A recent Gleb poll put his approval at just 37, and a Royal Zipper's survey shows him underwater at 40% overall, one of the lowest rating of his entire second term and only better than his first. Honestly, when even what feels like state-run media start acknowledging how dissatisfied Americans are with the presidency on key issue, you know things are really bad. The claim he keeps pushing that most Americans support his approach is simply false. If you believe that, you might also think this is happy couple. But the response is truly worth nothing. How other late night hosts tackle the issue head on, putting their livelihood and shows on the line.
Just a few hours ago, this new cover of the New Yorker came out. It's a tiny hand in a big suit, holding a TV remote. Anything
Some
you want?
guy who watches TV, I guess.
Yes.
I think.
What would you like people to take from this?
So the artist is Barry Blitt, who is a kind of a cartoonist genius, really. You know, kind of like Thomas Nast for our generation, and it captures in one image Trump's peculiar obsession with the media, particularly television, I'd have to say. And, you know, the buttons say mute, pause, stop, stifle, silence, shun, sack, banish, and so on. And it's funny, haha, but it's also very real. This is what's going on.
Yesterday, after threats from Trump's FCC chair, ABC yanked Kimmel off the air indefinitely. That is blatant censorship. And it always starts small. You know, remember like in week 1 of his presidency, Gulf of America. Call it Gulf of America. Sure, seems harmless, but with an autocrat, you cannot give an inch. And if ABC thinks that this is going to satisfy the regime, they are woefully naive. And clearly, they've never read the children's book, If You Give a Mouse a Kimmel. and to Jimmy, just let me say, I stand with you and your staff 100%. And also, you couldn't let me enjoy this for like 1 week. Just come on.
The big story is that Jimmy Kimmel was suspended by ABC after pressure from the FCC, leaving everyone thinking WTF. This morning, I woke up to 100 text messages from my dad saying, I'm sorry they canceled your show. I go, that's not me. That's Jimmy Kimmel. But to be honest with you all, I don't know what's going on. And no one does. But I do know Jimmy Kimmel. And he's a decent, funny, and loving guy, and I hope he comes back. Yeah, a lot of people are worried that we won't keep saying what we want to say or that we'll be censored. But I'm going to cover the president's trip to the UK just like I normally would.
Americans did not just watch a show get pulled off the air. They took to the street to defend what they see as a basic and fundamental American principle: the right to dissent, to criticize, and to speak freely.
It sets a dangerous precedent. I think that if the government can control the media, then we slip dangerously into fascism.
at the White House on November 5th.
That when Donald Trump tries to send a message, when he tries to send a message by silencing Jimmy Kimmel, he is trying to send a message to everybody. Watch what you say.